identifying some areas that we can sharing success essentially, but also areas that of financial benefits that we can move forward with. As per normal, Monday Muddle comments and questions can be put in the chat, and we'll collate them and review them at the end if we don't answer them as we go through. And the exciting fact about today is that it's National Cheese Pizza Day. And for those of you who don't know, Suzanne Abrahams is not a fan of cheese and therefore is not a fan of pizza, is my interesting fact about the Tri team today. So, update as tactical from throughout the trust. They have seen slightly less pressure in the last week in a way. August was very, very busy across the whole of the organisation from an acute point of view, but that has decreased in the last week, and obviously feeling that people are going to get back to school, and whether or not that was the bank holiday, I'm not sure. What they have noted is that there was an excellent elective activity happening, and that was one of the highest elective procedures happening throughout the trust, and a huge thanks for this, as everyone's worked above and beyond, especially even the summer holidays time. From a IPC, from a COVID point of view, we have 48 patients in the trust as a whole, nosocomial rate of 39.6. I note that there is now national news out regarding the asymptomatic testing. From the point of view of the trust here in Leeds at the moment, we're working through this. There's currently no change yet at the moment, but that will be shared once our infection prevention control committee work through that document and how it impacts us here in Leeds. Obviously, to recognise there's huge amounts of planning going into what it feels like was previously winter season, but now feels standard practice, or trying to say what mitigations we have in place and how we can cope with that. The MPX numbers are plateauing throughout the numbers throughout the region in a way, and further vaccinations are planned as well at the end of October for that. So I will hand over to Celia to give us an update on where we're at within the Children's Hospital and the organisational pressures at the moment.
Thanks very much, Colin. And just in relation to lateral flow, I just quickly put something in the chat, but we're working closely with microbiology. We're looking to stop testing resident parents, and also we will be testing lateral flow and PCR those patients admitted that are symptomatic. So it will be a big reduction for us not testing our elective patients with requiring lateral flow tests before they come in. So we're just waiting to hear from that. So operational pressures for last week and the week ahead. It looks like another challenging week ahead with a number of staffing pressures and some sickness. We've also got some particularly difficult CAMS patients at the moment, and they're taking up quite a lot of our time. Last week, though, we trialled the week of sending for the first cardiac case before any of us got to work, so by about 7 o'clock, and that worked really well. Today's been a bit more of a challenge, but as Colin said, everybody's back at school now. We are expecting things to get a bit busier, but we haven't had seen an awful lot of downtime over the summer period. So we're girding our loins for what the next couple of weeks will bring for us. However, we're well prepared, and we've got plenty of plans in place to ensure that we're all supporting each other through what's potentially going to be a fairly tricky winter. Thank you.
Thank you, Celia. And you're right. I think I said to everyone's back at school, aware of the fact that the challenging time when not everyone is back there, and staggered starts, and certainly for those new ones going into reception as well, might be a few weeks yet, but certainly the majority will be starting to head back to school anyway at this time. So Suzanne, over to you to give us an update of where we are financially.
Okie dokie, thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name's Suzanne Abrahams. I'm the General Manager for the Children's Hospital. So I've just come back from 2 weeks leave. So in terms of the financial position, I've not got the most up-to-date position. We've got to submit this month's forecast, which, as you all know, is when we submit where we anticipate we will be at the end of this financial year with the money that we've got and the expenditure that we've got. and we are aiming to be towards a green position. Currently we are in an amber position, and I've got to do some work over the next couple of days with finance to understand what our position will be for our latest forecast. So I'll be able to give you a lot more detail on that on Monday when we'll have submitted the forecast, and I'll understand it so I can explain it a little bit better. So I think that's it really from a financial point of view. In terms of waste reduction, there's the lovely Liz who's going to part her wisdom with us, I'm sure. Thanks, Liz.
Thanks, Suzanne. Morning, everyone. I'm Liz Smith. I'm a business manager for quality improvement and waste reduction. And today I've just got a nice example about cost awareness, which can lead to cost savings. So one of our nurses commented that when preparing IV medicines and flushes, she wasn't sure which was the most cost-effective ampule or bag size of water for injection or saline to use. And I know she isn't alone in wondering this. Back in the days when I was a nurse, I had many a debate with colleagues about this, and I'm sure that still goes on to this day. So in response to her comment, we're just creating an updated list with the price of each of the different sizes of ampules and bags that we have in use, so that people can make an informed decision on what size they use. So that's going to be ready very shortly. Initial thoughts are to create a small poster with images of the different size products and the price, which could be attached to a drug cupboard or wall for a period of time just to sort of update people. But before we do that, I would really appreciate any feedback on what you feel would be the most useful format to get this information. So if you've got any ideas on that, please do email me and I'll put my email in the chat. And also, just if there are any other products where you have similar queries, where there's sort of an either or and you're not sure which size is the most cost effective for you to use, if you let me know, I'll get that information for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. And I love the sort of practicalness of the comments around how to make that soul saving, even on the sort of small scale of, you know, fluid for injectables and stuff. That's brilliant. And those that any ideas such as that, or any sort of bugbears, or even questions that you're not sure of clinically or managerially or anything, then get in touch with us, to be honest. So thank you very much. I wanted to share some success that we had last week within Children's Hospital. So we are audited from our congenital cardiac unit here in Leeds nationally. So that there is an institute, so it's the NICOR is the sort of acronym for it, but it stands for the National Institute for Cardiovascular Outcome Research. And they came last Wednesday to review our cardiac figures. And that not only looks at our outcomes, but also on our data accuracy. And our data accuracy was at 99.25%, which is amazing. So real thanks for those that have been inputting the data into it, but also that our outcomes are still brilliant and outstanding and are still in that top. I think along with Great Ormond Street, we get the best outcomes throughout the whole of the UK. So huge congratulations to all the team that have been involved in that and maintaining the standards and excellence that we would want to for our cardiac patients here in Leeds. So that was some good news for you all. Now I can see that questions coming up.
Colin, I've got some lessons learned.
Thank you very much, Celia. I will hand over to you.
Yep. So there's one from me and there's one from Anna Dennis. So this is an information governance one. Just reminder to people about not sharing passwords. We've had a couple of incidents where nursing staff have shared passwords with students, and at least one formal investigation is underway. So just a plea to everybody not to do that. And then the next one's for Anna.
Morning, everyone. It's just around cannulas and pressure areas, really. We did loads of work a couple of years ago around how we tape our cannulas down to prevent pressure areas. We've seen an increase in patients coming into our services from other hospitals with pressure areas under the cannulas. So it's just a plea, really, if a patient comes in, to retape that cannula to try and prevent the pressure areas, because there've been some quite nasty ones.
Thank you very much, both. And great areas as well for us to improve our patient care, as well as the safety around our data as well. So thank you for that. I come on to sort of any other business and things from the point of view of chairing, and it was just to mention the fact that we have our medical social this weekend as well at Gledhouse Social Club. For all those who've already paid and signed up, looking forward to it. I'm hoping that we don't get the torrential rain that we had last night, and that it is a dry day, but here, who knows? For all those that are interested, then please do get in touch. There's been a few questions, or one question from Sean in the chat around how we're doing with our AIC and how that's working. So we obviously get paid in a sort of bulk contract through our aligned incentive contract. I know Suzanne is slightly sort of nodding and shaking your head at the same time because there is some discrepancy around that. I'll let Suzanne take over in some ways to close to the detail of it.
Yeah, so we're not under an AIC, and we haven't been for the past 2 years now. So the aligned incentive contract was the contract that we imposed within the trust when Simon Worthington joined us, so about four years ago now, and that was based on the fact that it would give us a lot more freedom to negotiate change pathways and streamline pathways without having a negative financial implication. We're currently under a block contract, which means we get a set amount of money based on the activity we did at a period of time. When you look about how we're doing against that, if we've been, how are we doing? Are we in a better position or a worst case scenario? In the vast majority, across the vast majority of specialties within Leeds Children's Hospital, we are getting more for doing slightly less. It's not the same in everybody's area, but that's the overall conclusion that we can draw as a children's hospital. So we're currently under a block contract, Sean, not an AIC, and that's the state of play currently.
Thank you, Suzanne. I know that Celia's answering regarding lateral flow questions from Sean, and I think that we'll have to, in some ways, if it's not available online, we'll probably have to watch this space as things move forward with that one. So huge thanks for you all and your hard work around this, around the Children's Hospital. I'm really grateful for out and about and seeing it. We've had meetings this morning regarding sort of IPC and the issues ongoing in certain areas, but really grateful for the engagement that we've got and providing the best care we possibly can do for the patients that come under us and families. So I look forward to seeing you all in the week ahead, and many thanks. Bye all.
Thanks, Bobby. Good week, everyone.